Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Chiefs bracing to be without star defender on Christmas Day versus Steelers. The NFL Week 17 schedule will begin on Christmas Day, including when the Kansas City Chiefs visit the Pittsburgh Steelers at Acrisure Stadium for a 1 p.m. Eastern Time showdown. Wednesday's game marks a quick turnaround for the Chiefs, who are coming off Saturday's hard-fought 27-19 win over the Houston Texans. Although the Steelers are coming off back-to-back losses, Mike Tomlin and company shouldn't be underestimated, especially in front of a rowdy Steel City crowd. Oddsmakers do like the Chiefs' odds heading into the Christmas action, however, winning will be harder judging by the team's latest injury news. Chiefs insider Pete Sweeney is reporting that defensive tackle Chris Jones didn't practice on Monday due to a calf injury. With only 2 days to go until Christmas Day, the five-time Pro Bowl defender's chances of suiting up against the Steelers seem like a long shot. On Saturday, the Chiefs revealed that Jones had strained his calf during the victory over the Texans. He potentially would be able to suit up if the looming Week 17 tilt took place on Sunday, however, the rapid turnaround could see him sidelined come Wednesday. Even though being without Jones against the Steelers will sting, it's a tough pill that the Chiefs should seriously consider swallowing. After all, it's in head coach Andy Reid's best interest to ensure that the 30-year-old veteran is as healthy as possible before Kansas City pursues a third consecutive Super Bowl win in the playoffs. Jones' production is somewhat down this year after signing a 4-year, $158.75 million contract with the Chiefs in the offseason. The former 2016 second-rounder has 19 solo tackles, 5 sacks, and a forced fumble through 15 appearances this campaign. Having said that, box score stats don't always tell the whole story. Jones is still being double-teamed on a weekly basis, while his 89.7 defense grade on Pro Football Focus is the second best among all interior defenders. Despite Jones potentially missing Wednesday's action, Kansas City's near future still looks bright. After all, the Chiefs are currently the 2.5-point road favorites over the Steelers at FanDuel Sportsbook. Whether or not those odds shift based on Jones' status remains to be seen. Steelers downs, sack totals aren't gaudy, but pressures and QB hits are piling up. 1. Sacks lack, but the Pittsburgh Steelers' remarkable run of leading the NFL in sacks for 5 consecutive seasons, 2017-21, is long gone. At 16th in the league in sacks through 15 games this season with 36, the Steelers are right about at league average and appear destined to finish outside the top 10 in the NFL in team sacks for a third consecutive season. But a look under the raw sack totals suggests the Steelers are still among the best at rushing the passer. Some of the numbers kept by the league or available on pro-football-reference.com say so. The Steelers are second in the league in QB knockdowns with 60 and 6th in QB hits with 98. ESPN calculates pass rush win rate, how often an individual beats a blocker en route to the quarterback. The Steelers rate 5th at 45%. TJ Watt is 11th among individual edge rushers, and Keanu Benton 14th among interior defensive tackles. Pro Football Focus grading ranks the Steelers at the top of the league in pass rushing. Cameron Hayward ranks 2nd and Benton 7th among defensive tackles in pass rush grades, and Watt is number 4 among edge rushers. 2. Elliott for team MVP? The Steelers lost each of the past 2 games, and safety Deshaun Elliott was not in the lineup for either because of a hamstring injury. To point out the Steelers are 10-3 with Elliott is a misuse of causation/correlation. But, at the same time, it is not unfair to recognize Elliott for having an impactful season on the Steelers' defense. Elliott still leads the team in solo tackles and is second to Patrick Queen in total tackles. No other Steelers player has 3 fumble recoveries. Digging a little deeper, the NFL's in-house statistical service tracks net yards over average, put simply, how many yards, for a defensive player, the opposing teams gain per play relative to the league average. Counting offensive and defensive players, Elliott's 338.68 net yards over average leads the Steelers and by quite a considerable margin. Receiver George Pickens is next at 163.15. Among Steelers who have played at least 11% of the defensive snaps this season, Elliott's 0.52 NYOA per play is easily best on the team. An off-season free agent signee, Elliott leads the Steelers in defensive NYOA on passing plays and on rushing plays. It's an imperfect statistic, but it is notable in regards to the 6-year veteran's play this season. Ravens' Marlon Humphrey celebrates finally getting a win over Pittsburgh. Heading into Week 16, Marlon Humphrey had a message he desperately wanted to get into the heads of his fellow Baltimore Ravens: beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right, in his media session for the week, Humphrey was quick with the facts, noting that the Steelers were 1-8 in their last 9 contests, and if the Ravens were going to make waves in the playoffs, they would first need to beat their arch-rivals and even things up at the top of the AFC North. Fortunately for Humphrey, he got his wish, setting the official record to 2-8 over the past 10 games and knocking the Steelers out of sole possession of first place in the division. Asked during his Week 17 media session how he felt about the win, Humphrey declared that he was over the moon, noting that he's finally happy to remove the black cloud hanging over Baltimore's heads. "Man, it's huge," Humphrey told reporters. "I think the Steelers have definitely gotten the best of us over the years, and I feel like we haven't played good football, let alone, and not even close to, great football. Not that we played the greatest today, but I felt that we did not do the things we usually do that kind of beat ourselves. So, to clinch the playoffs against the Steelers, there's not a better feeling." Interesting stuff, right? Well, wait, it gets better, as Humphrey had plenty more to say on the matter. While securing the win was obviously nice for Humphrey, he did quite a bit to make sure it happened, ripping off a huge pick six to more or less seal the win on Saturday. Asked about that play, Humphrey broke it down, noting that he knew what Russell Wilson was going to do and jumped the route to help his team secure the win. "I was right there by the guy, and Russell Wilson, kind of threw it to me, and I was running. And I want to make this pretty clear, when I was running with the football, I saw David Ohabo, a really great teammate of mine, and I was trying to pitch him the football," Humphrey told reporters. "Some people brought up to me that it looked like taunting or something, but I was trying to pitch him the football, and there's no taunting there at all. I just want to make that very clear. Ohabo is a great guy. I wanted to pitch it to him. Then I got in the end zone, and it was good." Asked if he felt the play served as a momentum swing in the game, Humphrey said yes, noting that the defense knew it was on them to get the ball back, and he took his shot accordingly. "Yes. Actually, right before we went out, we were talking about, let's get the ball back on defense. That was kind of the conversation we were having on the field," Humphrey said. "And to be able to get the ball back, and really die out that momentum, it was a good time for somebody to make a play." Would the Ravens have still won the game if Humphrey just got a pick but didn't score, or even if dropped the ball incomplete? It's impossible to say, but after spending the week talking up his desire to secure the win, Humphrey has to feel darn good about the results. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Marlon Humphrey? Leave your opinion in the comments.